Perfect. Here we go. All right, man. So I've got Brian, Mr. Yamokoski here. Um, so Brian was out with us in Indianapolis this last summer, and last summer was your rookie summer. So your very first summer. You'd never done anything like this before. So just kind of starting off, um, what was your experience your very first summer? Were you nervous to come out? How were some of those emotions before you went out for the
I mean, originally, my whole kind of how I even got into it, um, stemmed from a couple different people. Um, I guess the guys who recruited me, one of my best friends recruited me, and then got to know the higher up people just kind of through the process of, um, I guess, the recruiting trips, honestly. Um, And I mean, yeah, I was nervous. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, but for me, it was I hadn't really done something like super hard that I really thought I could be good at and like strive to work better at, I guess, since I was in high school, like playing high school sports. So I just wanted to do something hard again. And obviously it's door-to-door sales is not like it's not like pretty. I mean, it's definitely hard. Like ask anybody who's done it, but um, I mean, I wasn't sugarcoated or anything. I knew it was going to be a tough summer, but I'll tell you what, that was kind of what made me want to do it in a sense was that I knew it wasn't going to be, I guess, just your normal go out and do the same thing over and over and over and make um like okay money, but like I wanted to go do something I could actually like excel at and get better at and learn skills from like real life skills. So that's was the main reason I wanted to do it. I mean experience wise, like I mean that's kind of how I got into it or why I wanted to do it. But um like yeah, it's tough. Like you're gonna face problems every day and you just gotta kind of work through them, solve your problems. So um that I mean that's one of the main things that that job taught me. So
summer? How do you feel like you changed as a person after going through just one summer?
I mean, beforehand, I would call myself a pretty social person. I mean, I like to talk to people, but going out, I mean, and getting doors like slammed in your face and you're learning to talk to people and work around that. I mean, it'll teach you to deal with that adversity like day in and day out. And um, I mean, honestly, it helps you so much because when you're out there, it's you versus you. I mean, you're not really, I mean, you are competing against those guys that are on your team and throughout the company, but like, if you're not trying to stack your day on the day before or like gonna let like a bad day like bring you down, like you just got to stay more consistent. I say that's what I would say that that job taught me is to just stay consistent through good and bad.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. That's awesome. Um, so as far as kind of going, more towards the hardest things that you experienced over the summer, you kind of already answered it, but what are some of the hardest things about door to door that you experienced?
Um, Well, straight up the grind. I mean, I mean, you're getting up and you're going out. I mean, you're knocking doors for a solid 8, maybe 9 hours, sometimes longer than that for 5.5 days a week. It's grueling. I mean, the schedule itself is one thing, mixed with just being tired from doing the same thing over and over and dealing with people who don't want you there. Like, I mean, not necessarily that they don't want you there, but weren't expecting to see you today. And
Uh,
sometimes you catch people on a bad day and they kind of really get on you and
mhm.
give you everything that they got, and you gotta just all right, done next. All right, let me go to see if their next door neighbor wants anything or if I can talk to them. So um,
Right.
that's kind of what I would say. Just the people and the schedule.
How were you? How were you able to kind of get through some of those more difficult times? Do you think it was more just discipline, making sure that you're just keep knocking no matter what, or did you kind of have to, give yourself a little pep talk every now and again to make sure that you were sticking to the schedule and making things happen?
Right. I mean, it is a discipline thing because you don't like nobody's gonna make you sell. Like you're kind of out there to do it for yourself. Like Dave wasn't gonna make me sell, or Cooper's not gonna like go make me sell. I mean, if they were gonna make me sell, they would have got rid of me. Um, but like midday, they're not there for you. I mean, you could call them all you want, but like they're out there doing the same thing. So sometimes it was call one of your buddies that you know on the team, just kind of being like, okay, how's your day going? Like, what are you doing? Just kind of like step back for a minute and slow down because you could get in that rhythm of dealing with bad people and you just have that day and it's not a fun day, but you, you never know. Like the next door, you could be getting those all day and then rip like 5 or 6 in a row and now you have a great
Right.
day. And I mean, you never know how it's going to turn around. So that's kind of what I would say.
So if there was, one or two things uh, that you wish you were told before your first summer, is there anything that you wish you would have known or been a little bit more prepared for?
Um, in terms of like getting like just preparation wise, I mean, it would be like there's some things that people would say, be like, all right, yeah, it's gonna suck at like really bad at times, and it's just that midsummer, like be prepared for that midsummer, like you go through that like 2 or 3 weeks where it's just, I mean, for Hawks, it'd be the bugs aren't out. I mean, that could be an excuse, but I mean, you got to work around it. I guess be prepared for that the dog days of summer, like that will take you out of it, or yeah, take your mind out of it. And if you didn't know, like, I mean, if you didn't have people to tell you that before, you wouldn't have any idea. Like you go through that first month, and then you're like, all right, this isn't too bad, and then you get that midsummer, like it hits you. Um, I mean, be prepared for that. Um, the other tip that I would say is just stick with it, grind it. Like you have to. Um, I wish people. I mean, I did, but like you gotta just keep grinding. Like that's the whole name of the game. Just all day, every day. You're only there for 3 months, like maybe 4. Like just grind. It's gonna pay off.
Is there anything that you wish if you were to restart your first summer with the knowledge that you have now, is there anything that you would change or improve on in order to make your first summer potentially better than it was?
I mean, my advice. I mean, my one thing I would do differently is like I cared too much about. I mean, what these people thought about me or like all that kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, like you want to put on a good facade and like you should, but they like these people at the end of the day, they don't their opinion of you does not matter. And I wish if I knew that at the beginning for the first like couple weeks, my numbers would have skyrocketed. So these people really don't their opinions of you don't matter. So
So, let's see. Do you remember how many days you worked this last summer?
I mean, you do the math and it's 20
I
times.
think for most of you
Probably
guys, it
like,
was right around 90.
yeah, ballpark 90, 100 maybe.
And so, you did just over, basically just shy of 100,000 in revenue as a rookie, um, which is a lot better than, some of the other rookies that we have. And, it's a really great first summer for someone that's never done something like this before, has never really had much sales experience. And, off that 100,000, you're probably going to make right around, right in between that 20 to 30,000 for just a summer of work. How does that, just make you feel? Does it make you feel any sort of accomplishment? Does that level of success for yourself, at this age, doing a job like that, does that make you feel good about, yourself, or kind of talk me through some of those thoughts?
I mean, that goes back to kind of like one of the reasons I wanted to do it is like, yeah, you work really hard, but you're gonna get compensated for what you do. Like if you do good, like you're gonna get paid for it. So, um, yeah, I mean, do I wish I did better? Yeah. Do I think I could have kept grinding on some of those dog days and like grinded out some more rev? Like, yeah, like there's always a little bit of like, I guess, regret or like I could have done better and all that. Like if I knew what I knew at the end, at the beginning and all that. But yeah, I mean, dude, making anywhere between 20 to 30 grand as a 20, I mean, I was 20, um, 20-year-old kid, you're making 25 grand versus, I mean, if you did a regular internship, it's anywhere between like 5 to 7. You're getting paid like 12 an hour. It's going to be like 7 grand in the summer, minus whatever you paid that summer. So you're coming out with like probably like 5 grand at the end of the summer versus 22, 25 grand. Like that, yeah, it makes you feel good about yourself. Like you went and worked for that. Like you worked really, really hard, um, for what you made. And yeah, it does make you feel accomplished. Like ask most of the rookies that do this, like, yeah, it's going to make you feel good. Because when you come back, like, say, I came back to school and my buddies are like talking about their summer experience and everything, and I talk with them about it, and they did the same thing, but you compare it to what they make, it's like, yeah, like, yeah, I worked harder, so I should make more money than you. Yeah, that's just kind of how I feel
Mm-hmm.
about it. So yeah, I am proud about making that much money. Yeah.
So, just kind of to leave someone with that might be, looking into this as an option for them. They're kind of thinking about, going out for their first summer. What's a couple pieces of advice you've got for somebody in that situation, or even somebody that's made that decision to go out for their first summer, but they don't really, have much advice to go off of other than kind of what we give them, but from somebody that's experienced recently, what would you kind of say to
Um, Midsummer, learn from how you sell. Um, that would be my main thing. Um, if you're gonna go out and do it, like you gotta be like working on your craft. I mean, as anything that you do, you should be wanting to get better. Um, that would be my main tip of advice if you wanted to do better is talk to leaders, talk to your guys. They'll tell you what you're doing wrong. Like there's a reason they're selling more than you, so like ask them what they're doing, learn from them. Like, um, and then I guess another piece of advice I would have for anybody wanting to do this is like you're gonna be so much better off financially and come out with so many more skills than doing a regular job. Like you're gonna have this arsenal of like sales experience. Granted, if you're not even doing sales, then you're going to come out financially better. But if you wanted to do sales after this, you just have that whole arsenal of skills of how to talk to people. Your words get better, like how you talk instantly improves. Um, I mean, you can tell just talking to people when you get back. Uh, they'll tell you talk better than when you left. I mean, yeah, those are my kind of like things. Like you're gonna get better skills and you're gonna make more money than you thought you could have at this age.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for hopping on today, and I look forward to some future experiences that we're gonna have. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yes, sir, Donnie. No problem.